Good afternoon again. I think I have a very difficult job to keeping people awake after lunch. So I'll try my best that I'll keep everybody awake. Thanks, Shrikant, for the humble and kind introduction. I just want to give my association with ISACA. I've been involved with ISACA for 15 years. I did my first certification CISA in 2004 when I was in KSA. After that, I did CISM. I was member of Australia chapter for almost nine and a half years, and now involved with the Muscat chapter for almost 2.5 years now. I also take my time out to basically teach one of the CISA domains. I actually right now currently I'm doing my second review sessions now with ISACA. I've been doing CISA review sessions for almost, I would say, around 12 years. In Australia, I used to do it. Now I'm doing it here. So I have seen 3 different review manuals changed. So the latest change was the last one. So in my presentation today, I'm going to talk about cyber threats and techniques which hackers are using, and what, as a practitioner, we can do to protect ourselves. So I will start with a small video, very nice video from Cisco. Actually, Cisco have lots of good videos about cyber, but this one is talking about how water holing attack happens and how it compromises a system. So water holing is the attack when you go to a website and there's a malware on the website which can download on your machine without you knowing it. Okay, this is one of the techniques which the attackers are using other than spear phishing. We'll talk about other spear phishing, USB attacks. We'll talk about all that. But this, I will start with this.
The race is on to get a fully self-driving car to market.
Autonomous car company Opticon promises a
cars that drive themselves. Opticon's new cars.
Joining conference now.
Destroyed data and deleted the backups. We can recover most of it, but some of the research may be gone for good. According to the forensics, they may have had access to the blueprints.
The FBI arrested a San Francisco man in connection with last month's Opticon.
Hey, Brian, can I get you anything? Coffee or soda or something?
No.
So, walk me through it, step by step.
I took over the website to a bowling alley.
Brian, this is not a joke.
Okay, look. They have this research facility down the peninsula, and they're working on optical tracking cameras for driverless cars. So, just searching through social media, I get the names of a whole bunch of engineers who are working there. And as I'm looking them up, I come across this bowling league where a bunch of tech companies play every Wednesday. And this is an old school bowling alley with this really ancient website. And it has all the league info, company names, player names.
Okay, so you hacked into a bowling alley website.
Yeah.
All right, explain how that works.
It's called an Iframe injection attack. It's this old exploit that hits anyone that visits the website. So a week later, this guy from Opticon suddenly has my malware on his laptop. I couldn't believe it worked. It was like a joke.
What does that get you?
Well, then I say he goes to work, and he opens his laptop, and he connects to the network. And that's it. I'm in.
Yeah, but that still doesn't get you inside. I mean, they discovered it. They wiped the laptop, scanned the network.
They didn't scan the whole network. The thermostat's part of the network. It's inside the firewall. It's connected to Opticon's entire network. You can get the whole standard configuration and password online in 30 seconds. I got it off the manufacturer's website. So they scanned most of the network. They didn't scan the thermostat.
Then what?
Then I just went exploring. It was a totally flat network, no subnets or anything. I could see everything, HR files, legal documents, R&D. When I found the blueprints, I realized I could make some money off these files.
What happened after you sent the files?
Oh, then I burned everything down. I wiped everything I could find, encrypted drives and deleted backups.
Is the number down?
The servers look correct. We're going to have to do a full restore from the backup. This is deliberate.
This is a major breach.
Malware.
We gotta call the FBI.
I was just scared. I was trying to cover my tracks.
And somebody paid you how much exactly?
75 bitcoins.
Nice. Not enough to retire on, but still. All right, Brian Page. Are you sure you don't know who paid you?
European automaker Q-Car has beaten Opticon to market with their QX sedan, the world's first self-driving car. Opticon shares tumbled 11% on the news.
Yeah, actually there was echo coming. So what I'm saying is in this video, we saw certain vulnerabilities. Yeah, weaknesses in the network, weaknesses in the way we conduct business. So can anyone name maybe 2 weaknesses which we noticed in this video? Yep. No, the laptop was not used outside the network. But yeah, you are close because he accessed the website using that laptop. Yes, that's a vulnerability. Yes. They didn't do the full scan, right? Iframe, yes, there was a vulnerability within the website, but that website was for the bowling alley. It was not for the Opticon, right? Opticon doesn't control bowling alley website. But the challenge was the first, how they start the attack, if you know about cyber kill chain, is background research. So the attacker actually found out who works at this organization by going to maybe say LinkedIn. They didn't say LinkedIn, but say on LinkedIn. Find out, okay, these are the people who work. And then LinkedIn, it also tells you which area you actually live or work, right? It says Muscat area or so. So then this guy went in and searched for different activities, and they found this bowling alley website. And then from there, he actually hacked the bowling alley website, not, Opticon's website. So first vulnerability, exposure through social engineering. Yeah. Second vulnerability is not having network segregation. Third vulnerability, they didn't scan the whole network. Yeah. And the fourth, so mainly 3 vulnerabilities. That's what we saw. So now, if we talk about trends in cybersecurity, so this is the reversal of last year's. So this is most of the data which I'm going to share is for first 6 months of 2019. Okay, I have read a lot of reports and I have taken data from different security reports, and I have given them credit here from where I pick up this thing. So this is a big reversal. So basically we divide the attacker or campaigns into 2 categories. One is cybercrime. So your ransomware, sextortion. Sextortion was very big actually in first 6 months. A lot of people actually paid. They get this email, okay, I have hacked your email account, I know what you do on your phone, I know. So this was one of the biggest contribution. So anything where you pay money is cybercrime. Ransomware, even crypto miners are in a way are cybercrime because they are utilizing your resources to run their crypto mining. Okay? And nation states are the country-led attacks. So for example, if China is doing attack on US, it's a nation-state attack. So last year, this was 35-65. So the cybercrime was only 35% of the overall annual attack, but now you see it has turned around. Okay? So this is the first trend which we are seeing in 2019. Now if you look at the campaign on industries. So last year also technology was actually one of the highest hit. So any company who provides services, they have any technology-based services they provide. This year is the same. So if you look, technology companies are the most targeted, especially for the cybercrime. Okay, because for example, there's a company who provide sports equipment and things like that online. They do all this stuff online. So they got hacked, their customer got hacked, and then once somebody steals your identity, they can do a lot of attacks on you. Yeah. So this is the trend which we saw in the verticals. Now, if you look at from a nation-state perspective, so the first graph I showed you, nation-state and cybercrime. Here I'm actually dividing into who are the players, yeah, in nation-state. So we have primarily 5 big players which have been very dominant in first 6 months of 2019. So you have Russia, Vietnam, North Korea, Iran, and China, right? So I think the four players are very well known. Russia, North Korea, Iran, and China are very well known. Vietnam is just starting to get into the business. And I don't have to tell you who they are attacking. Everybody probably knows. They attack mostly China because they have this conflict going between China all the time. But if you see, these are the industries, different industries. These are who is attacking mostly which industry, right? And if you see cybercrime, that's why the number is so high, 61%. Because they are actually trying to attack every industry, okay? And mainly with crypto miners and ransomware. This is the biggest one. And then the sextortion is there, but it's not particular any industry, but generic population. So this is the trend which we are noticing now. Now I will share some statistics about cybersecurity. Before that, I'll ask one more question. How much time do you think a nation state or advanced attacker takes to hack a company? Any guesses? I will share that information. Any guesses? Please. How long, for example, if I want to attack your company, how much time it will take for me to send you maybe a phishing email, you will click on it, I will go and compromise first machine, and I start moving around. Yes. Give me the timing. So what we are saying that the attack is that we got in, we compromise, we have full control of the network. That's what we are not talking about, okay, we're just moving around and we don't know what we are doing. So we're talking in general, a nation state, I showed 5 nation state, right? These 5 nation state, one of them is very fast, others are moderate, okay, in compromising organization. And when we're talking about nation state, we're talking about very advanced attack. We're not talking about the virus, or we're not talking about cryptography, we're not talking about, just give me a guess. 10 minutes, okay. So we'll share that. So first stat I have is there is a hack happening every 39 seconds, okay? So this could be crypto mining, it could be ransomware, it could be any hack. We're not saying specifically advanced attack. Every second, 75 records are getting stolen, okay? I will show the stats later on, how much we have lost in first 6 months, and next 3 months, how much we lost. The number actually doubled in last 3 months than what we lost in first 6 months, okay? Now, cybercrime is more profitable than illicit drugs. So illicit drugs, the Silk Route and all those servers which have been taken down was the most profitable business, okay? That business was worth $440 billion. How much you think the cyber attackers, when we're saying cyber attackers, we're talking about crypto miners, we're talking about ransomware, we're talking about sextortion, we're talking about all those attacks where people are paying money. Give me a guess. $600 billion this year. And this is the first six talking, it may go up. 75% of the hackers who were attacking companies, they said that firewalls and antivirus doesn't stop us. Okay, especially the traditional firewalls. I'm not talking about next generation layer 7 firewalls. So they are saying that they're used 73% of the time, we don't even have to struggle to bypass them. Okay? Everybody knows about the bounty hunters, the people who go and identify vulnerabilities on Google or Microsoft, and you send them the vulnerability with the proof that I can hack this with the 0-day vulnerability. They pay you money. So last year, $19 million were paid as bounties. That's a huge money. Yeah? And most of the hackers who actually got this money, they didn't even attended one security course. They were doing the research, right? They were doing researching on, say, Google, or they were actually doing practical testing and all those things. Where is it? Okay, this is the number. 18 minutes. Russians are the fastest. They take 18 minutes to compromise the network fully if they come after you. When I say they come after you, it means targeted attack. Okay? You can have any signature-based system, it will not detect because they always use 0-day. Most of the time they use 0-day. Okay? Sometimes they use the vulnerability which is known but not patched. Okay? But when they come with 0 day, 100% your normal antivirus, your firewalls, your IDS, they will not even know that it's happening. 18 minutes. Okay? Second is North Korea, 2 hours. China is 4 hours. So you can see the capabilities they have built, right? Now you can purchase a record for $1. That is how much you have to pay if you want to purchase somebody's credit card number, somebody's medical record actually costs around $150 if you want somebody's medical history. That's the most expensive actually. And then after that comes the identity records if you want to know about somebody. For example, I lived in Australia for 18 years. There was a big attack happened there that people were getting their house sold without them getting it know that their house is sold. Okay, this was a big attack. Australians, they lost $550 million to this scam by Nigerians. Why? Because identity theft. Because in Australia, you don't even have to put your photo on anything. Your driving license, your passport number is your identity. So if you can prove them that you have these things, that the system trusts you. Okay? For example, when I went there first time, I got my driving license. I went to buy this car on Sunday. Yeah? The guy, he was Indian, so it was my first car in Australia. I said, go buy the insurance. I said, how can I buy insurance on Sunday? He said, just call them. They will give you the insurance. I said, but what about my signature? What about my photo? How do they know it's me? How do they know the car is not damaged? They said, just call them. And you will not imagine, I called them in 10 minutes, I had insurance. Right? Because that's how the trust system works. So if you hack somebody's identity record, you can actually use it for a lot of good purposes. Okay. Now, you can buy ransomware products online. Okay, so there are more than 6,000 marketplaces where you can actually go and buy ransomware. How many people know about Grand Crab? How many people know about Grand Crab? This is one of the malware. This was the first ransomware as a service. So if you want to do ransomware, you go to Grand Crab. I don't know how much you pay, maybe $500. They give you 24/7 support. If the ransomware doesn't work, they will give you definite guaranteed return on investment. If you invest them $500, they will say minimum 1,000 you will make. Otherwise, we will not take. That Grand Crab. It's still active, right? It's not that active now. Now we have malware as a service. I'll talk about that. Okay? So you have around 6,000 products available on different marketplaces. 300,000 new malwares are created daily. Yeah, so, and when we say the new malware, what happens sometime, a malware is released and then they put it on the open source. Then somebody will go just change few bits. Actually, it becomes a new malware for your antivirus. It becomes a new malware for your IDS. Because all these signature-based technologies, they work on the MD5 hash of the signature. If you even put space in the line, it will change the MD5 hash. Okay? And now the malwares I will talk about one of the malware, I'll show the video as well. They are so smart that they change themselves as they are actually infecting. So you can have a signature today, but maybe tomorrow you will not have a signature. They update them online. Okay, like antivirus. The malwares, they update them online. Okay, now some of the surveys were done. Why and how the companies are getting hacked. Okay, so what's the trend we are seeing? 60% of the companies, they have stale account, user accounts which nobody was using. Maybe people left the company, but accounts was not deleted. This is a very known and common problem. If you go to your organization, go and report on, if you have Active Directory, dormant account report. Account not used in last 30 days. You may be surprised to see how many accounts in 60 days, 30 days has not been used. Okay? So if somebody has left the company, now they can sell their account even to somebody, right? 32% of the hacker, they admitted that, the most difficult thing for them, what they said that they did privilege escalation. It means root account, admin account, DB, any account with higher privileges. That was one of the themes. And actually this happens in almost every hack. Okay, I will talk about Mitre attack framework, I will talk about techniques. You will see this always whenever we do privilege escalation, credential stealing, this is the first thing which happens. So as part of NSSG, we do a lot of security assessments, and we actually usually get to the domain admin on every assessment we have done. At least for the last 5 months I've been with the company, we have done assessments. So we got, once you lose your domain admin, the game is over for you, okay? So you cannot do anything after that. Because they can create account, they can delete account, they can use anybody's account. You will not even know that whose account they're using. 75% of the people got attacked through email, okay? And most of these companies, they had email security most probably. They had anti-spam, they had anti-phishing, okay? Again, this all solution works on, most of them, they works on signature. And if they don't match the signature, they pass the email, okay? So 75%, and we will see that again when I will talk about the tactics and techniques they are using, you will see spear phishing as number 1. Okay, it's still number 1. Now this one also is interesting one, and in most of our assessment we have seen this, right? Companies' folders, shared folders are not protected. You will be amazed, like sometimes we go to do assessment, we have shares without authentication. And not 1 or 2, heaps of them, okay? And then what we get in somebody, and I will have this again in tactics, somebody will put all the admin passwords in an Excel file or in a Word document, and they will store somewhere on the shared folder. This is the easiest thing you can give to a hacker. There are thousands of programs, even free ones, to share the store the password safely, right? Most of the attacks you will see that Excel sheets, Word documents, all the admin password I'm talking about. I'm not talking about one account, you know? And this is not happening with like a very small company who doesn't have security department. I'm talking about companies who have security departments, who have security teams. So now, what is happening with all these trends? So this is the list of top breaches which happened in first 6 months. You can see the huge number. In first 6 months, over 4 billion records were lost. Okay, and last week I was checking one report, they were saying till October, this number 10 billion. Okay. People know that Facebook got hacked in March. They have unprotected passwords. Your username password was there. Hotmail and MSN mail got hacked. Actually, I was talking to one of the person here, his Hotmail got hacked as well, and he was getting funny emails. So, you know, Hotmail and MSN got hacked, I think 3 months back, 4 months back. They lost 130 million username and passwords. Okay? And I'm not sure if they have informed everybody that their account has been lost, right? Everybody remembers about Yahoo, biggest hack ever in the world. More than 1 billion record. Yahoo lost. And it had a bottom line impact on Yahoo. Verizon Communication was about to buy Yahoo before the hack. They put a value for 4.5 billion, I think. After the hack, they said, we'll only give you $2 billion because you are very bad in security. Because we don't know what we are inheriting. You see, the hack can have the issue or the impact on the bottom line. We saw that in example of Opticon, right? Somebody got attacked Opticon. This guy stole the designs and he sold to another company. They showed as QCar, right? And QCar was able to bring the product before Opticon. And then if you have noticed in that account, before he left, he formatted and encrypted everything. Yeah? If you guys remember Shamoon 1, a couple of years back, Saudi Aramco, 15,000 computers. 15,000 computers. 3 weeks of no production. Imagine Aramco. One day production, how many millions they make? You know, that time, Aramco was calling every vendor in the region. Calling Dell, how many computers do you have in the stock? 3,000, send it to me right now. Not even asking about the price. After buying all that, it took 3 weeks for them to come back to 100% operation. Okay? And then after that, we have Shamoon 1, Shamoon 2, Triton, all these attacks basically happen on Iran, right? So this is the trends which we are seeing, right? So big breaches happened, a lot of information lost. Capital One was a big one. And now if you see Marriott, which got hacked last year, November, they have announced, right? So far, they have lost more than $550 million in penalties. GDPR penalties and different other penalties. Malindo Air got hacked. Just to guys let you know, 30,000 of Omani citizens, passport numbers, date of birth, ID card number has been hacked. Just to let you guys know. 30,000 Omani nationals who were using Malindo. Yeah, this happened only last 2 months back. So if you have ever used Malindo, just make sure that you go and check if you got an email from Malindo that your account is hacked. But in the darknet, there's a database available. Out of those, almost 30,000 Omanis. And this database we get through our other service. Yeah. So okay, so these were the trends. Now, what are the threats? Okay, what are the different threats which we are dealing with? So, top malware families. If you see the first 4 are crypto miners. Does everybody knows here what is crypto miner? And how many people knows about crypto miner? Okay. How many people know about cryptocurrencies? Most of the people knows about cryptocurrency, right? So there's a cryptocurrency called Monero, and Monero actually uses most of this. Monero's people who actually run Monero, they use most of these malwares. So what this malware does, you go on a website, okay? That website has a malware, okay? And that malware will be installed on your computer, like what we saw in that video, okay? When you go back to your office, the malware will start replicating to other computers and servers. And what crypto mining means is, because cryptocurrency needs a lot of CPU and memory. That's how you run crypto mining. So if you're really running a crypto mining farm, you might have this big room with maybe 30, 40 high-end servers, big CPUs, big memory, if you really are a genuine crypto miner. But these people, they don't do it because they don't have this infrastructure, so they create malwares. So this malwares goes and use CPU and memory of your computer. So if you see your computer suddenly start going slow, there might be a crypto miner on your PC. Okay? Last year, the crypto miners, they guess how much money they have made hacking this, not genuine crypto miners. Give me a guess. $250 million by not even having one single computer. By using your computer, your servers, or this is still the number one threat. Okay? After crypto miners, if you see, there are banking malwares, which we call information stealers or info stealers. You may have heard this name, info stealers. So most of the banking malwares, like Remit, Trickbot is not here. So this is, see, Grand Cab, I was talking about ransomware as a service, is still active. It's slow. It's very low now. Okay? And some of them actually have been shut down. For example, Cone Hive has been shut down on March. But in still first 3 months, it was the number one, right? So because these people, they run crypto mining, and then they decide, okay, I don't want to do this business. They move on to something else because maybe the law enforcement coming after them. So they shut down, they burn everything. Maybe this guy will go and now create another malware with new infrastructure, okay? We'll talk about Emotet. Later on, I will show you a video which will explain to you graphically how Emotet works. But this is what we are seeing globally, and this is what we are seeing in Europe, Middle East, and Africa. Okay? Still, crypto miner, if you see, is still number one. Okay? And crypto miner, by the way, it's not a hack, or it's not a data breach, or it's not because they don't steal your data. The only thing they're after is your CPU and memory. That's it. Crypto miner, if you have it, it doesn't mean that you got hacked. It doesn't mean that they steal your data. But keep in mind, now we are getting like Emotet, I will talk about it. What we call them is modular malware. Okay, what modular malware is, well, once you get Emotet, now Emotet, I can actually send a ransomware through Emotet to you maybe after 3 months. That's why we call them modular. Okay, so I can send you keylogger. Keylogger is a software which logs anything you type on your computer. Okay, all the banking malwares, they have keyloggers. That's why we call them info stealer. Okay, So Emotet and TrickBot will talk about that in the banking malware. They are modular malware. Okay? Once they install, you can actually send a ransomware maybe 6 months down the line, maybe 1 year down the line, once it's on your computer. Now if you look at mobile malware, so mobile malwares also are big in first 6 months. Okay? I will talk about Tirada. Tirada is one of the most sophisticated mobile malware ever created. Okay? So when we say sophisticated and advanced, what it means is that you cannot detect these malwares. You can detect them today, they will change tomorrow. You know? Defense invasion. We call this technology as defense invasion. Okay? So any malware which has defense invasion is the most difficult malware. Yeah? So Tirada was actually, initially when Tirada happened, I think 2 years back it started, it was part of a genuine application on Android. It was part of the application, okay, as a third-party application. It was part of some of the mobiles actually are delivered with Tirada installed on them when you buy them new, okay. Now Tirada has actually improved. So now it has, what it has done is, if you have done mobile, if you know about mobile application, there is a process called Zygote, Z-Y-G-O-T-E, Zygote. So Zygote is the process. When you install any application, Zygote is the process which defines your privileges on the application, how this application will run, what you will have, what you will not have. So this Tirada malware actually overrides Zygote. So what it means is every application you have on your mobile, once you have this malware, is capable of running this malware on your mobile. Okay? So, and it's because once it goes inside the processes of the application, even if you have antivirus, say McAfee or Kaspersky on your device, they will think that this application is normal because you just downloaded it from the Play Store and it just installed, but they don't know that the malware is inside the application. You understand? So that's why this is one of the most advanced malwares which we have seen. Now banking malwares, we have Remit, we have TrickBot. So basically banking malwares are nothing but information stealer. Okay? So usually when you have a banking malware installed on your computer, it will have a keylogger. Okay? Banking malwares usually, before I go to banking malware, how this mobile malwares are spread? Mainly 3 ways. One is social media, Facebook Messenger. You will sometimes get a very funny message from somebody with a link. Usually that's a malware delivery. SMS, you sometimes get SMS. You get people send you, forward you something on WhatsApp. Some offer, like government is offering this thing, like in India there was a one going on around some time back, the guarantee job. Go to this link and then you fill your information, you will get a guarantee job if you're jobless. So all these are the mediums how usually the malwares are getting distributed. Okay, so these are the banking software. If you see Remit and TrickBot actually, and this is Gozi. If people know about Gozi, this is the new name of Gozi, it's called Furnace. Before it was Gozi malware, okay? So this is banking malware. Typically they do information stealing. They steal your information and then they send it to the user, basically username and password for your bank accounts, okay? I think the next one version would be they probably install a malware on your machine and also on your mobile to get your one-time password, yeah? So, but these are the ones we have. And then botnets. So Emonet, DocBot, and TrickBot. These are the top 3. I will play a short video about Emotet. Okay, you will see how advanced this malware is. Okay, this malware gets updated by itself. Okay, this malware can change its MD5 hash within seconds. Okay, so it's very difficult for you to detect these malwares. Okay. The only way you can detect, and we'll talk about in remediation, is using the behavior analysis of your network. If you're using standard network antivirus, the last generation, not next generation, you will mostly miss this. Okay? Okay, so Emotet and Trickboard. Trickboard, if you have heard about fileless malwares, there's a new type of malware. We call them fileless. It means when they attack, they don't write themselves on the disk. And most of the antivirus, they actually scan the disk. Yeah, correct? So fileless virus. Trickboard has a fileless version as well, which will only stay in the memory. Okay, when you restart the machine, it will be in the run key or the startup program in your Windows registry, and it will start again and stay in the memory. So if you're scanning your malware hard disk for malwares, you will never find Trickboard. Okay, this is a new version of malware. Okay, so now, so we talk about criminals. Now we're talking about nation states. So these are the 5 main countries which are actually attacking most of the other countries. Obviously, this report is from a US company, so they didn't mention US, but US is not naive. They also do attacks. They also attack other countries. So I will actually, if you ask me personally, I will also put US there in the list. But obviously, this report is from a US company. They will never name their country. You know, we know about what happened in Iran and other countries, right? So you can actually add US from your side here as well, because they have one of the most advanced capabilities for doing advanced attacks. Now we'll talk about techniques. How many people know about, 15 minutes we have, right? So how many people know about Mitre attack framework? Okay, so Mitre is actually it's an organization which actually hosts all the CVEs. In my first presentation, I showed that. So Mitre attack framework is basically has, I think it's 9 phases of attack. Okay, and they tell you exactly in which phase, what are the techniques used to attack. So that you can, if you follow Mitre attack framework, if you can actually implement it 100% in your organization, I would say you will be maybe 90% secure, because nobody can guarantee you 100% security. You will make the life of hackers very, very difficult to attack your organization. Okay, so we'll talk about what are the techniques mapped to the Mitre which attackers use in first 6 months. So first one is called initial access, means how the first attack happened. Okay, I told you that spear phishing will be number 1. Yeah, and we saw that in the previous survey, 75% companies said they got a mail. That's how they got attacked. Yeah, external remote services, this one is picking up. RDP, remote desktop protocol, everybody use RDP, TCP 3389. You will not believe that RDP is open to internet. Yeah, now let's say you have an employee who left, you didn't delete his account, and you have RDP open on one India server. Now this person can log in. Hillary Clinton's hack, if everybody remembers, that happened through an open RDP session on their mail server. Can you imagine somebody's mail server have open RDP? That's how the Russians got in. Okay, and then you have publicly facing application like your web application. They will maybe hack your web application, through that they will get in. You have a public cloud application. So that's how initially they get in. Once they get in, they have to execute the malware on your machines. Okay, so these are the top 4 techniques. Command line is on your CMD, you get this C column something something, that is command line. So command line is still the number 1. So once attackers will attack your machine, they will use command line, because with command line you can do everything. Powershell is another Windows program which gives you, when you run your application, sometime it says run as administrator. Yeah, that's sort of a PowerShell which needs domain admin accounts. Scripting, they will send automated scripts to basically get it installed. Okay, and then WMI. WMI is a feature in Windows. If your systems are openly showing WMI, it's a very bad thing to have. So you need to scan your network to see your WMIs are not open and they are not old version of WMIs. So this is how they install. So this is how they send the attack. This is how they install it on your computers. Then you have persistence. Persistence means once I get in, I stay in. Okay? Advanced attackers stay in your environment for months. Okay? One of my previous job in Australia, I was the global security incident response manager for a company called CSC. Now it's called DXC Technologies. Yeah, second largest contractor for US federal government. Okay, this company was the one actually helped NASA to write their programs. So this company was 55-year-old. Yeah, so these are the things which also we used to see, right? I am the person who have actually worked on APTs, Advanced Persistent Threat. I have myself worked on APTs. It's very hard to find people actually who have worked on APTs. I have worked on APTs. Okay, so first valid accounts. So once the attacker attack you, they grab your local admin, domain, or domain admin accounts. Then they use this to stay active in your environment, right? If you have 10 administrators, they will hack one of the administrators. You're not going to delete your domain administrator account, right? Unless you know that they are suspicious, right? You have web shells. Web shells is if you're running any web server, they can actually hide their connections within the web services itself. Okay? Windows IIS is the biggest culprit. Most of the web shell attack happen using Windows IIS. Then you have registry run keys. This is what the fileless virus do. They stay in your environment, putting in the registry or startup keys. And they create new accounts. Once they have domain admin, they can create accounts, right? And then they can use them. So this is how they keep persistence, means they stay in your network as long as they want. Then come privilege escalation. Now they want more accounts. So this is what I was talking about, getting admin root. So they use valid accounts. They exploit privilege escalation using some of the vulnerabilities within Windows or Unix. A normal user can become a super user. Okay? Bypassing UAC. UAC is one of the controls which Windows have. So whenever you log in, it asks you for username and password. You can bypass that using vulnerabilities. And access token. Access token is every time you use any service in Windows, it creates access token. Somebody can steal that and can tell that it's not you, but it's me. Okay? Impersonation. Defend invasion. This is what we're talking about in malwares. How you can hide yourself from the detection controls the environment has. Antivirus, firewalls, IDS, IPS. So they use valid accounts because if you're an administrator, you're logging to all the computers. It's not normal, right? Why would I stop my administrator not log in? So this is how they hide, using valid accounts. File permission modification. So basically, some certain files, they can access a certain level, but they can actually use it to hide with the file permissions. Scripting and changing the files. Credential, so this is also one thing which happens in each and every attack, credential access. The first one is credential dumping. So if, for example, if your Active Directory is not configured properly, if an administrator log on your computer, and if I take a dump of your memory, I will get your domain account. Most easiest thing to do to get the domain admin. So credential dumping, you have different tools. One of them is called Mimicat. There's PW Dumpax. So there are so many tools available online which you can use to do this. Right? Using private keys, and look at this one, credential in the files. I talk about that. Right? Easiest ways to get credentials. Then discovery, basically how they discover other systems, who is doing what on systems, who is DBA, because this is what they need to, before they do exfiltration. Before they copy data, they need to know who is DBA, from where I can copy, so they do that. Lateral movement is moving around and profiling your network. RDP is the first one. Windows share, we talked about that before, right? In the survey, people said that, they're open shares. With this, you can move around in the network. And then last one is, this is not the last one, collection. How they collect information. From the local system, they can automate, they can do data staging, means send the files to different system and bring it to one system to take it out. Then command and control, how the attacker take control of your environment sitting outside. So these are some of the techniques they use. They use remote file copy, common and uncommon port. Common ports like DNS, right? There's one port called 1900, right? And NTP. These ports shouldn't have full access outside for each. So if you see in your DNS, if you have a DNS 53 TCP going out of the network from each computer, I can guarantee you that I can do data exfiltration very easily in your network. It should be only your DNS server who should be going out TCP 53. Because the domain resolution is UDP 53, not TCP 53. Okay? And then this is the exfiltration. They send to command and control. They use DNS. Then use NTP protocols to send data out. They compress data. So zip, send all these files, legitimate files, but to encrypt them, and then your systems cannot detect it. And then what they do impact. So they usually encrypt the data. Okay, they do resource hijacking, as we said in crypto miners, and then they delete the data or they encrypt so that you cannot use the system. So these are the main techniques which are used. I'm just rushing because my time is getting over in another 10 minutes. I want to give you guys another, maybe at least 10 minutes to ask me questions. So what can you do as a practitioner, as a company, to basically protect yourself? And most of the stuff I'm going to show, most of you guys know already, right? That's a good news. But bad news is we are not practicing it, okay? Number one, security awareness. Phishing attacks, your email, spam, anti-spam, anti-phishing cannot stop you. The only person who can stop is the end user, okay? So it's very important to do phishing awareness. You have to teach them not to use USB you get from here and there. This is all awareness. No defense can actually protect other than security awareness. Vulnerability management, patch management, we've been seeing this from since whenever we had the security, right? People are still not doing it right, okay? If you know about WannaCry vulnerability was announced and the patch was announced 1.5 years before WannaCry happened, yeah? Asset inventory and management. You cannot protect what you don't know you have, okay? Nobody does this right. Very important. Multi-factor authentication, privilege escalation. As I mentioned, each advanced attack will have a username password involved with it. There cannot be an attack without a username password, okay? And that username password will be a privileged user, root, admin, DBA. Have to do it right. Multi-factor authentication, if you do it, the attackers have actually said in the survey that this was one of the most difficult things if we have a multi-factor authentication to hack that organization. Just one control, just imagine. You don't have to do multi-factor for everybody, at least do for domain admins and those accounts. Ensure that endpoint systems are protected, effective, and on. I'll give you one example. You have endpoint, McAfee or Symantec, all those things, right? They have all the features. They have host IPS, firewall, antivirus. Guess what? Most of the systems, they don't even enable it. It's a production system. I cannot enable HIPS. Why not? Just exclude the production system folder. You don't have to exclude the whole thing. So people have the protection. You have protection, but you have not enabled them. Okay? Use next generation tools which can detect behavior, not only signature. If you're still relying on signature, you're going to lose. Test regularly your security controls and configuration. You will be surprised if you go and detect like your IoT devices, cameras, and all those things, how many default passwords you have. Okay? Security monitoring. It has to be analytics on cyber as well as on behavior. If you're doing rule-based security detection, your SIM is outdated the day you have installed it. Okay? Because the attackers are changing every day. You can only detect them using the behavior. Don't do it alone. Partner with companies who actually know how to do these things. Okay, there's a skill shortage, 3.1 million cybersecurity professionals. You cannot hire everybody. In Oman, if you want to go for a good cybersecurity person, it's very hard to find, right? And the good cybersecurity people are already hired by some other companies. Okay, don't do it alone. Try to partner with wherever you can partner, focus on your core business. Don't try to build big security teams within your organization. Partner with people who know, because if you partner with a MSSP, this is their only business. Security monitoring is the only business they do, right? So they will do it right. If they don't do it right, you pick them out, get another one in. Okay? That's it. Thank you. We still have 5 minutes. Yeah, we have 5 minutes. Yeah. So questions, any questions? Yes.
Change of nation state versus crime, e-crime.
Cyber, yes.
Is it because the e-crime have increased so much and nation state have not increased?
Yes.
Or is it nation state are not doing much?
The reason is because the crime, e-crime has gone up in the percentage. So when we look at, there are 100 hacks happened. So maybe out of 161 was related to the e-crime, and 39 was, that's how they basically do the stats. So it doesn't mean that the nation states are not active. But you have to also think from nation state perspective, it depends upon so many things. Political situation. What's happening with Syria and Turkey? You know, Turkey also have defense capability in cyber. Syria also have. You will think that Syria is like is a country, there's nobody there. They have a hacking group called Syrian Electronics Army. They have hacked so many US websites and other advanced systems. So it depends upon the political situation, basically. Any other question? Either I explained it very well or I think everybody was sleeping. I don't know which one is true. Thank you very much. I hope it was useful. Thank you.